In the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, where trade routes carry the lifeblood of the global economy, a quiet yet seismic shift is underway. It is not heralded by typhoons or natural disasters, but by the deep rumble of engines and the sight of steel giants slicing through the morning mist. From the eastern horizon, two fleets emerge, one bearing the flag of the Russian Federation, the other the Red Star of the People's Republic of China. Together, they move with calculated precision, rewriting the rules of naval power in a sea long dominated by the West. For decades, NATO and its allies have considered these waters secure, a bastion of Western influence. But the sudden appearance of Russian and Chinese warships sailing side by side has sent shockwaves all the way to NATO's highest decision-making tables. This is not simply a military maneuver. It is a statement, bold and undeniable. The balance of power at sea is shifting. The end of a maritime monopoly. The Pacific has historically been a theater of Western dominance. American aircraft carriers anchored at Allied bases projected unmatched firepower. Japanese destroyers kept strategic waterways under vigilant watch, while Australian frigates seamlessly joined multinational operations. It was an unchallenged arrangement until now. The sight of a joint Russian-Chinese steel formation breaching what NATO regarded as its psychological maritime frontier marks a profound turning point. No requests for passage, no diplomatic courtesies, just an unmistakable demonstration that what was once safe Western territory is now contested ground. From exercises to real-world provocation, this dramatic patrol emerged from Joint Sea 2025, a massive naval exercise in the Sea of Japan. There, Russian and Chinese forces showcased their full-spectrum combat capabilities. Coordinated cruise missile barrages, precision anti-submarine torpedo strikes, long-range air defense integration, and perfectly timed fleet maneuvers. NATO observers watched from a distance, fully aware that any interference could escalate into a direct confrontation. When the drills ended, the fleets did not return to port. Instead, they sailed deeper into the Pacific, deliberately navigating along vital trade arteries, routes that have long been central to global commerce and under NATO's maritime watch. This was more than a show of force. It was a calculated geopolitical message. A display that left the West uneasy. Footage released by the Russian Ministry of Defense revealed a rare and unnerving sight. Heavy Russian anti-submarine warships advancing in unison with Chinese PLA Navy destroyers bristling with missile systems. Helicopters patrolled overhead, radars swept the skies without pause, and heavy artillery stood ready. Despite their different languages, technologies, and doctrines, Russia and China operated with a unity that made analysts uneasy. For NATO, this meant confronting not one adversary, but a coordinated military bloc, a far more complex and dangerous challenge. The strategic message. Officially, Moscow and Beijing described the patrols as defensive. In reality, their chosen route could not have been more provocative, passing through waters frequently traversed by NATO merchant convoys and warships. The message was as blunt as it was strategic. We can be here whenever we want, and you can't stop us. For NATO, reacting with a counter-fleet would only broadcast insecurity to the world. Remaining silent, however, risks projecting weakness and signaling that control over these oceans is slipping away.
A dangerous fusion of technology. Russian vessels bring long-range cruise missiles, advanced anti-submarine weaponry, and sophisticated electronic warfare systems to the table. Chinese warships add cutting-edge phased array radars, layered anti-air defenses, and multi-role combat systems. The combination creates a powerful integrated strike capability, one that challenges NATO's long-standing technological superiority at sea. NATO's allies face a harsh reality. In the Asia-Pacific, countries like Japan and Australia have long relied on NATO's presence for security. But these patrols highlight a sobering fact. NATO cannot stop them without risking escalation. If such joint missions become routine, NATO's image of invincibility will fade, a slow but deliberate form of psychological warfare that undermines confidence without a single shot fired. Beyond the battlefield, diplomatic tremors. The implications extend beyond the military sphere. Southeast Asian nations, once firmly in NATO's orbit, are beginning to recognize the rise of an alternative guardian of international sea lanes. A weakened NATO presence in the Pacific could set off a chain reaction, diminishing its influence in the Middle East, the Atlantic, and beyond. The dilemma of non-intervention. By choosing not to challenge these patrols directly, NATO avoids the risk of immediate conflict. Yet every unopposed voyage by the Russian-Chinese fleet chips away at its maritime prestige. Over time, global perceptions shift and questions about NATO's relevance grow louder. A new reality at sea. The Pacific Ocean is no longer a one-power domain. Russia and China have proven they can operate effectively and provocatively on NATO's doorstep. This challenge is not just about ships or missiles. It strikes at the pride and prestige that underpin global influence. Once that pride is eroded, reclaiming authority becomes far more difficult. The pressing question remains: will NATO adapt to this emerging reality or risk confronting it head-on in a conflict it may not win? Conclusion: the dawn of a multipolar maritime era. The events unfolding in the Pacific mark the beginning of a new maritime era, one where dominance is contested, alliances are tested, and perception is as critical as firepower. Russia and China have sent a message not only to NATO but to the entire world. The seas are no longer the exclusive domain of the West. For NATO, this is both a strategic and symbolic challenge. How it responds in the coming years will determine whether it remains a pillar of global security or becomes a relic of a unipolar past. In this high-stakes game, hesitation can be as decisive as action, and the ripples from these patrols may shape the course of global power for decades to come.